All right, guys, so what we're going to do today is naming the compounds, okay? So everything that you see in the periodic table, you're basically going to put it on the paper right now. You're going to find the letters, what they are, and then you're going to put it on the paper. If you look in here, the Cl2O7, the 2 comes with di, and I'll show you how to do that. And the Cl is from chlorine, and you can find it in a periodic table. The 7 is for hepta, and the O is oxide. Instead of writing oxygen, remember that you have to change the last 3 letters with IDE, okay? IDE. So in here, if you look, number 1, it's for everything that you're writing here is going to be mono. So you have NO. NO, if you go to the periodic table, N is nitrogen, NO is oxygen, but again, remember you have to change the gen with IDE, and then you have to add the mono as in 1, okay? Because there's no number after O. You assume that is number 1. In here, the NO2, so the first one is actually nitrogen when you go to the periodic table. O is oxygen again, but if you look at number 2, it's for di, so it's going to be dioxide, okay? Now, moving on with tri-tetra-penta, let me show you hexa. Hexa is actually for number 6. So if you look in here, SF6, 6, okay? So you have the sulfur. If you go to the periodic table for S, is sulfur. F is fluoride, but then don't forget that hexa is going to go before fluoride. So it would be hexafluoride. Okay, the same for 7 is going to be hepta, so heptafluoride. Again, 8 for octa. So the way that they have it in here, I don't know what is deco, because deco means 10. So it would be the tetra for 4, phosphor, and then instead of dec, it's going to be octa oxide. So my bad in here is not dec, it's going to be octa oxide, because it's 8, not 10. All right, and then you have the nona, and then you have the dec for decoxide, okay? Don't forget about that. If you see that there's actually a number after, like AS, is going to be arsenic when you go to the periodic table. So the tetra, you're going to put it for sure. If there's no number, guys, like for example here for NO, if there's no number after the N, the first letter, you don't need to put the mononitrogen. You don't need to put mononitrogen. Just keep it as a nitrogen. The same for sulfur. If you see here, SF6, the S, you don't need to put monosulfur. Sulfur is enough, okay? Now, when you move on, this is actually just a way for you to remember, just a trick to actually create the memory aid, just to remember what is 1, 2, 3, and so forth. If you want to take a look at it, perfect. If not, it's okay. You can jump for this part. In here, I'm just going to do the first one for you. The C, when you go to the periodic table, is carbon. Carbon. And then you have the Cl, if you go to the periodic table, is for chlorine. But in this case, it's going to be chloride. Remember to change the word for IDE at the end. And then you have the number 3 in here, which if you look in here, the 3 belongs to tri. So it would be carbon trichloride, okay? And that's how you're going to do it for each one of them. After you're done with this part, you're going to go to this. Actually, if you go to my class, it's going to be right here. So when you're in chemistry, you're going to go to homepage, and then you're going to see name the compounds, week of December 9, and the link is going to be right here at the bottom. It says real molecules simulation, okay? So when you go to this simulation, which let me see where I have it now. So you're going to go to the simulation. You're going to click where it says real molecules. And if you look in here, the first thing is here is H2O, which means water. You're going to click where it says electron geometry, molecule geometry. If you look in here for electron, it means tetrahedral. That means that there's four what? Okay, so there's 2 molecules here for oxygen, and then you have one that is, 1 for oxygen, 2 for hydrogen. These 2 is just the way that the molecule works. But in reality, it would be the darker colors. Anyways, you don't need to know this part deep. What I want you to do, though, is on the paper, you're going to go here where it says electron geometry, molecular geometry. Here you're going to go and write tetrahedral. And for the other one is what? Let me go back to the simulation. It's going to be bent. okay? And then you're going to draw the molecule in here the way that you see it. You can move it around and however is actually easier for you. Do you need to add the color red? Yes. Do you need to put the green, the white color? If you want to just put a circle and that's it, it's fine with me, okay? And then the rest of them, you're going to find it here when you click on the top right side of the simulation. That's it. That's what you need to do for this part. Moving on to the next one. You're going to go to part 3, guys, okay? Make sure to do part 2 first. For this part, you're going to pick 3 of these molecules, any of them, okay? And then you're going to go on the table in the middle of the classroom. There's some molecules in there. It's a kit, molecular kit, that you're going to play around and you're going to actually have one that is lineal, the other one is tetrahedral, and the other one is trigonal. I'm going to be here to help you, okay? So I don't want you to feel frustrated about how to do it. But basically what you're going to do, you're going to create the molecule. First, you're going to create the name. Then you're going to draw the picture, okay? And I'll show you how to do this part. In this one right here, the name is going to be vice versa what you did at the beginning of the class. So the first part in here, it says lithium trichloride. Now you have to write the formula. So it would be LiCl. And then don't forget, these all have to be together. One is going to be uppercase. The other one is going to be lowercase. That's for lithium. Then C is uppercase, L lowercase. And then because it's tri, you're going to put the number 3 here. So that would be for the first one. Now the second one, it says barium tetraoxide. What you need to do, you're going to go to the periodic table. You're going to find where is barium, and then you're going to find in here, which is oxide, oxygen. You're going to find it in here. Okay, so you're going to have that on the paper. Then it says in here for the last part, you're going to find the element. To find the element, you're going to go to the periodic table, and what you need to do, you're just going to put the letter. For example, calcium is only Ca. When you go to the periodic table, you're going to find in here that calcium is Ca. That's the only thing that you need to do, guys. So I don't want you to feel frustrated. It's a lot, but if you go to the periodic table, all the answers are there. If you have any questions, just remember that I'll be here with you during this whole time. So just let me know if you need any help, okay?